done yawning. Because you're going to make me start yawning now.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's both of our first days back to work from the holidays.
Did you stay up to midnight?
I did, but in bed. I was like in bed watching YouTube, and I scrolled down. I was like, oh, it's 12:04.
Yeah.
Did you stay up?
Yeah. And then we went to bed immediately thereafter.
You and Jess? No
Yeah.
kids? Kids were
No,
probably
kids were
long
asleep.
gone.
My brother and sister-in-law were there, and the same thing. We weren't planning on staying up, but we were just chatting, and we're like, oh, it's 11:30. Might as well stay up now.
Did you actually watch the ball?
Yeah.
Okay. No, what's the go-to on that? Is it like Dick Clark's?
Yeah, I think it was Dick Clark's, but like we didn't have the sound on. Just all those people in the crowd in their diapers.
You couldn't. Well, you could pay me. You could. It'd be a high number, but you could pay me.
Yeah.
To go to New York City for that.
Yeah,
you could possibly pay me for that.
There's that, and then the having New Year's Day off was nice, but then you can sit back to work.
The only good thing is you're starting on a Tuesday.
Yep.
I will take that, but it was it felt long.
It did. It was a struggle.
It was a long day. But anyway, here we are in week 17 already. We so last week we recorded on a Thursday, which we were watching the Browns-Jets game.
Yep.
We were kind of like live chatting about that. So.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers in that one early on anyway.
Yeah, but cool Joe Cool, 309, 3 touchdowns. Browns, they clinched a spot with that win.
Yeah, I was seeing that, like, he's the one of, like, 3 quarterbacks who have thrown 3 touchdowns and 300 yards in his first, like, 3 starts or something. Or was it 15 touchdowns in a month? I don't know. It's something wild. He's lighting it up, which is so strange. And the Jets are the team he was on last year, which makes it even more fun, more hilarious.
Great. So his incentive, he has different incentives, like for...
I yawned. I tried to swallow it.
Get the yawn count going. For like playoffs and whatnot, but I think each win is 75,000, which means he's 4-1. He's at 300,000.
Yeah, he's very incentivized for sure.
Hey, I wrote them off, much like the Bengals, but the Browns, I wrote them off at one point.
Yeah, me
Deshaun who?
Right.
Deshaun who?
Yeah, it's a lot of money going. That's
Awkward. All right, so there wasn't really much on that. We live chatted about that game. Unless you had something else.
No.
Anything stand out to you in that game?
No, just Flacco continuing to Flacco and the Jets continuing to jet.
His profile picture is still in the Jets uniform.
That's funny.
ESPN didn't even update it. So it looks like he plays for the Jets.
That's awkward.
Oh, my God. All right, so that was that game. Our Saturday game, which we watched together.
Yes, we did watch this together.
It was the 3 amigos.
Yeah,
watching the Lions and the Dallas Cowgirls. Mm-hmm. We almost had it.
Yeah,
we almost had it.
I mean, I picked the Cowboys. I went back in my notes.
Okay,
but
so
I did put
Jess and I almost had it. We almost had it.
But I did put what did they know because I remember the spread being what was it 5.5.
I think when we do for next year.
Yeah.
Right. Well, like we got to write down like what the spreads are.
Yeah.
But I think
it was 5.5. If
I think it was.
And I was like, that seems large.
And I thought it was low. Mm-hmm. But I guess not.
Yeah. I thought it'd be 3.5 or something. I mean, but still, yeah. If I was a betting person, like I said, which I am now, I would have taken the Lions. I think I may have said like Cowboys to win, Lions to cover. I think I may have said that.
I think you did say that one of those. It was probably that one.
I mean, this game this is probably the most controversial game of the week, especially the ending. I don't know. You saw it. We were also watching this quietly. Like we didn't have like the announcing on, so we didn't quite know what was happening at the very end, the 2-point conversion. It wasn't until the next day that I learned what transpired.
But it looked like 68 went over to the ref.
Yep.
And then 70 was walking on, using numbers because I don't know their names.
Yep.
70 was walking onto the field and maybe kind of like chased the ref, but he wasn't the one who caught the pass.
No, it was. So I read more into this. So throughout the entire season, I don't know if they had this in their pocket literally all year long, but 70 is always the player who has declared eligible for them.
Okay.
All season long. I'm pretty sure they held on to this in their back pocket for a very long time.
Okay.
Because Campbell said they even talked to the refs before the game and told them to prepare for it, like it was coming. And I guess that happens in all games. Like they tell them about trick plays. Hey, just keep an eye out.
Sure.
And so what happened? And they tried to confuse the Cowboys, but what they did was they just confused the refs. So 68 went to go declare himself eligible. and the referee thinking, 70 declared himself eligible the entire game. It must have been 70 again, who did run towards the ref. But again, it was just a fake out for the Cowboys. Why they do that? Why they did that? Because the ref has to go talk to them anyway. I don't know. But the ref got confused, but then also didn't admit it after the game.
But see, that's, again, I will die on the hill of one play, one call does not define the game.
Yeah. However,
I don't know if a team's got more fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, that and what was the pass interference?
Oh, the Rams. No, Saints against the Rams. Yeah.
Yeah, that
was bad.
That was bad.
Now,
but this one is very bad.
Now I will say, this one was equally bad, not equally bad for both sides, but it was also bad for the Cowboys because they told the Cowboys 70. They did, and they announced it over the speaker because someone got the Spanish broadcast, and he did say 70.
Really?
So the Cowboys must have left 68 wide open because he was not the eligible one, or declared eligible according to the referee. So the referee's just really, really messed up. And this ref crew this one is especially bad. I think they were the one that ref the Chiefs game a couple weeks ago when they missed the pass interference. They called the ref in the passer when he was not out of bounds.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. Yeah. So this ref's crew is really bad.
Well, because then that's something to look at too. Did 70 obviously didn't?
He didn't say anything.
He didn't go out for a pat. I don't know.
Because 70 also lined up illegally.
Yeah.
And the refs were like, oh yeah, he also lined up illegally, and it's because he was not eligible.
Well, and that so that's a good thing a good question is like when they announce it, who on the Detroit side, was there enough time to say no?
I guess I don't know. Yeah, with the play clock ticking down, I don't know. Or they just assumed and didn't listen. They did it up like they intentionally. I think Campbell admitted that they were trying to trick them. Like 70 was eligible all game long. The refs just messed up. And it wasn't like a subjective call, like a roughing the passer. They literally just
they messed it up. But it's also like Dallas wasn't defending.
Yeah, 60 because they weren't told to.
Right, because they went with 70. But you could see 68 went up to them first, and then 70 kind of like trailed and followed the ref.
Yeah, and that was the gamesmanship that they were trying to pull.
Yeah.
And it kind of, but you don't think the refs are going to be so incompetent that they don't even listen to you.
And you can't challenge that either.
No, which I think you should be able to.
Yeah, because I mean.
I agree with Bill Belichick's assessment that you should be able to challenge everything. Because in basketball, you can challenge a foul call. But you only get 2.
But here's the problem with that. Even though, all right, so say they did challenge it, and they came back and said, yep, 68 was the eligible receiver. Would Dallas not come back and be like, well, that might be the case, but you said it was 70, so we didn't block him.
I think they'd have to replay it from the same spot. And
you'd have to redo it.
Yeah, and get rid of the penalty, I think. And now, the reason I agree with Belichick's thinking you should be able to challenge everything is because you don't get any more challenges. You still only have 2. So you can challenge it, but just don't, you can't get more than 2.
Right.
You better get it right.
Right.
So, that was shenanigans.
It was, but there was also on Dallas's last drive, there was a tripping call, I believe, that they got fucked on. So that's the thing. Like,
they also messed that up. They called it on the wrong team.
Which is crazy, but then again, everything becomes a wash. It's like we always say, like, somehow, as bad as the refs are, it finds its way that it's just a wash. Honestly, the more egregious thing in that they could control was that pick that Goff threw.
Yeah.
That was that stunted a lot of that drive.
It's funny because they're just like, oh, the incompetence. It's okay that they're incompetent because they're just incompetent a drive before that.
Yeah, right.
It's just awful all the way. Now I don't know if you remember us watching that game, but what do you remember stuck out to you that we kept talking about back and forth? Do you remember specifically? It's been like a craw on our side all season long that teams do this.
Oh my God. Of course. Because this is like a Washington fucking thing.
Yep.
The delayed handoffs
on
third downs.
Yeah. And like not even that short. It was like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3.
And Detroit kept fucking doing it, which is crazy because, you know, Washington is about to get a new coach. The countdown's on. Black Monday's coming up very soon. And Ben Johnson is one of those top names. And I'm like...
yeah. Oh, yeah, the one that wants $15 million, you said?
Yeah, like that's a top name that they're like, oh, that could be a good fit. Then I see that kind of play call, and it's like, it just doesn't make sense that, like, delayed handoff or the running back is 8 yards back like it's a first down.
Yep. The shotgun run, it's 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 3. You give them a shotgun handoff, which means it's now 3rd and 6.
The delayed handoff or the shotgun handoff on the third down is fucking crazy. And then what they did on one of those drives, they went for it on 4th, and they did like a play action. It's like,
let's do it on 3rd.
Why wouldn't you do that on 3rd? Like, it just makes no sense.
And we even said, "Oh, here it comes," and then it actually happened. I think there's like 4 or 5 instances of it happening in that game.
I would love to see a percentage of how many times that actually works on a 3rd down,
right?
Because it's so predictable. And then, like on one of them, linebacker goes right through the middle, and they lost yards. It's just it doesn't fucking work. I don't like what are you doing? But that's like a Washington. That's why the enemy.
Oh yep.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
I'm good.
So long, farewell.
I'm all good. So I don't know if we have. I'm jumping ahead, but only because we did have a hot take during the game. I don't know if we have a new one.
Oh, that's right.
The hot take was it was 2 minutes left, and it was looking grim for the Detroit Lions. And the hot take from Jess was the Lions are going to win this game.
Yep.
And we were like,
I know,
that fucking close, and it almost happened.
There's a minute 40 left. They had the ball inside their 20, and I think maybe one timeout. Mm-hmm. And they almost won.
They almost won.
They should. I don't know. Again, it was like back and forth. The call was bad both ways.
Right.
The big thing was, in my takeaway, there was a penalty on that one. Then there was a penalty on the Cowboys in the next attempt. Mm-hmm. So they got 3 attempts, all within varying yardages. At the 3rd time, just kick the extra point.
I know.
Just be happy you're still there and just kick the extra point.
I know. So that's where I was all for going.
The first one, yes,
because it was like
the same thing you talked about the Redskins. You said it live,
the same fucking thing. It's like you want to get to where you're at right now. You go overtime, and overtime is not set up for you to really. It's not set up as easily as it was before because they could kick the extra point. All they have to do in the previous rules,
right?
Win the toss, get to like the 40, kick a field goal, you win.
Yep.
It's not set up like that anymore. Yeah. But I appreciate going for it, but I also see the point. My cousin said the same thing. I see the point of like, go for it, maybe go for it again, and then at the 3rd time, you're losing the momentum. So now it's like, fuck it, let's just kick it.
It's just awkward at that point. It's just awkward. It's like you held hands for too long or something like that. Or you like felt someone's hand next to you. It's like it's awkward.
Could you in that scenario? Could they have kicked it? They probably could have, right?
Yeah, I think
as long as they just had to redo the possession, redo the down. You can do anything you want.
Yeah, because it's an untimed down, right? Well, I don't know. There might be a delay. I mean, I'm sure there's a delay game in there somewhere, but
they could have elected on the 3rd attempt.
I think so.
Say, fuck it, we're just going to kick it.
I think they would have the refs would have to move the ball back, whatever. But the weird thing was the illegal touching was a 10-yard penalty, and then the offsides was a 5-yard penalty. So the 3rd attempt was still from the 7.
Yeah.
So I imagine it would have been a 39-yard extra point, which is not, it should be made.
Well, especially inside.
Yeah, if you're Ryland, though, for the Patriots, good luck.
Oops.
Yeah, so, but at that, it's just, the momentum's going, it's just weird. Weird.
I could see it. Go for the 2nd time. The 3rd time, maybe just, all right, you know what? We're going to cut our losses here. This isn't for us. But again, I like the fact that off rip, he was like, we're gonna go.
Because they had and they obviously had that play in mind, the trickster play, and they told the refs to watch out for it, and they still got it wrong.
They were so good at the trickster that they tricked the refs and tricked themselves.
Everyone at home, oh my god,
they played tricks on everybody.
So bad. I mean, the 49ers won, so it's kind of a wash because they didn't really they're not going to get the 1 seed. However, they might now have to play the Cowboys on the road in the playoffs.
It is going to be very interesting now because Philly. We'll get to it. Philly dropped the bag.
Philly.
And from Finland.
Yep. Philly.
They dropped the bag big time. So the Cowboys are 11-5. They are now in control of their own destiny. 8-0 at home. Again, they have a shitty road record, but
now if they get that road,
it's not going to matter right now. It's not going to matter in the first round. I don't think.
If they get the home, if they get the home game in the first round, and then say the 49ers puke on their shoes and lose. Then they're going
to be right there.
It could go through Dallas, and that's what they want.
And that is that's Philly. Philly just again.
I know So they were 8-1, and now they're 11-5. Oof, they're like under 500. The second half of the season.
They're in a bad streak right now. It's ugly. The big one out of that game too. CeeDee Lamb has the Dallas Cowgirls receiving yards record all time.
Yep.
13 for 227 and a touchdown.
He's had a hell of a year, that's for sure. Oh, I will say though, he did fumble that ball out of the end zone. Which,
he did, so he should have had a second touchdown.
Yeah, and the game probably would have been out of reach. I mean, who knows? Things would have changed, but there's talks of the competition committee getting rid of that rule or giving the ball back to the offense.
I don't like that. No, I don't think so. No. He fumbled the ball and went out of bounds.
Yeah. That's like the one rule that the defense actually, it helps the defense.
It can actually
and also,
help the defense.
You need to know, and I know Belichick hates this, you should know that if you reach the ball for the pylon, you are taking a risk of that happening.
Yeah.
And it happens often enough.
Yeah. I wouldn't do away with that rule. It's again, the league is already set up for offense too much anyway.
I think Lamb already said he does not agree with it, which I appreciate an offensive player saying that.
Sure.
Yeah. That was a good game, though, that we watched. That was a good game.
It was. It was our first game of the season.
Yeah.
Week 17.
I don't know, week 17. It was a good one, though. We'll catch playoffs, I'm sure.
Rolling into Sunday, and because of where we're both at in our respective teams, we're not going to skip it. The Bills over the Patriots 27-21.
Yeah. Not much to say. Zappy sucks. 3 interceptions, like a fumble.
Within the first,
fumbles. It was bad.
Not even half.
Yeah, it was so bad. Rylan sucks. This game actually would have been tied if he didn't miss 2 40-yard field goals, 40-ish yard field goals.
And he's the one that you picked up in the 4th round, right?
Yeah, that we traded up for. And yeah, so that happened. And I think he missed either 1 or 2, and then one of them. We got to delay a game on the kick, and then decided to punt it. So it was like, how do you get a delay a game on a field goal attempt? It was like, just whatever. So yep, it was bad. There's not much to say.
I think that the score didn't. I mean, the first half was really bad for New England. That he threw 3 picks before halftime.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's one of those games you watch and the score looks like it's close-ish, but the Bills were in control the entire game. Right. And you see the 7 in the 4th, and the Bills didn't score anything, but they were just controlling the ball, and they had the ball at the end, and they just ran the clock out and got the first down, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I did notice that. Our boy, why are they even showing Zappy's score line? Like, why not show Josh Allen, who I guess didn't have much of a better game himself? He did get a rushing touchdown, but at the end of the game, he rushed it for the first down, and he hurt his shoulder, or he was nursing his shoulder. So it's like, stop lowering your shoulder, dude. Cam Newton 2.0. So that did happen. I didn't see anything in the news after that, but I did notice.
A little reckless.
Yeah.
Listen. One more game. Yeah. And we're both out of our misery.
Right.
One more game. Next we had the Bears and the Falcons.
Yep.
Bears 37-17 in a snowy game in Chicago.
Yeah. I picked the Bears here, just because I knew they're on. I think I said it was a home game. Pick the bad team, and they're 5-3 at home, which actually isn't terrible. They're 7-9. I feel like they have something going there. They got your boy, Sweat, and I think Fields might be the end. I don't know.
Well, you know what though? This is a good conversation here. So the Bears have successfully locked up the number 1 pick because of the Panthers.
Yeah.
So that is locked in. The way Fields looked, because they're talking about maybe going quarterback, and I'm hoping that they don't.
Me too.
for like selfish fucking reasons, but like Fields doesn't look that bad. Again, they have I think they have number maybe 9, 1 and 9,
10 right now.
10, 1 and 10, and then they gave. I don't know if they have a second rounder because I think we traded for Sweat, so we have their second rounder. But even still, they have 2 picks in the top 10.
Yeah,
I would think building blocks or like. You have the first pick, maybe trade back a few spots, get another pick, get a second round pick because they don't have one right now. Yeah, so they could drop back a little bit, get a second round.
My guess is they could drop back into the first. Like someone will give them their first this year.
Yeah, right,
and probably next year's honestly, because that's my concern. I think they're gonna stick with Fields. I think that in my heart of hearts. They're obviously building blocks with Sweat and giving him the contract extension.
Yep.
My concern is that they're going to trade this pick to someone who's going to either leapfrog us both. However, but also my hope for you and for me too is that Washington's new regime wants to make a splash, and they make that trade.
I think because they wouldn't have to trade, like they wouldn't have to give up too much. Mm-hmm. I don't think with Chicago they could fall back. I don't think they're going to fall outside the top 10.
Yeah, and also you're kind of okay because you kind of just get the one that they don't take, which worked out this year for Houston.
It's true.
We're the ones who are going to get screwed because we're going to get who?
Well, it's not a guarantee yet. We don't know what
that's true.
That's coming up.
Yeah,
that's coming up.
Now, looking at this, I feel a little bit better because I knew the Patriots were never going to go 2-14, 2-15. Like, I knew that they would do better than that, even though they're bad. 2-14. So I'm like, okay, we're never going to get the number 1 overall pick. It wasn't going to happen. Looking at this, the Washington, I'm a little surprised you guys have gone on a 7-game losing streak. You're not, but
no,
they looked okay. They're what, 4-5? 4-5?
I don't know. Well, yeah,
they were all
-7. They started the season 2-0.
Yeah. Shit.
What's the percentage of teams that start 2-0 that miss the playoffs? I mean, it's like you're 2-0 and then we went 2-12. Yeah. It's ugly.
Yeah, so that is the big question. It's a big offseason question. I'm sure we'll get to, and I'll watch. I like to watch the. It's so silly, but I like to watch the combine and stuff and see what they're saying. And they're gonna make the media loves making a whole conversation about it because it's just that's where all the clicks are. So it's like, who are they gonna take? The media is licking their chops because they know this is gonna be a question up until draft day.
So the way that this falls right now, Washington has the number 2. Mm-hmm. You have the number 3 because Arizona, and we'll get to that game. Arizona,
that was huge. That was big. That was a big one.
That helped both of us.
Big SOS too. Big SOS difference with that one.
Right. So now it's so the difference here is if you look at it, actually Washington has a worse SOS strength of schedule than Carolina, but obviously the wins count first.
Yep.
So if either of us win, the other one gets it, I think. But if we both win, it relies on if we both win or we both lose, I believe, it relies on the Saints over and the Falcons. So you beat the Saints and we beat
we lost to the Saints by
you lost to the Saints. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. You lost to the Saints, but we beat the Falcons. So we would need the Saints to win. That would help our strength of schedule be worse. So I believe if we both lose, we need the Saints and you need the Falcons. Because the Falcons losing would help our strength of schedule be worse.
Gotcha.
I think if we both win, it would be the same thing.
Yep.
Well, actually, no. If we both win, Arizona would also need to win.
I need to find an article that explains all this. I'll have to look for it.
I know it's if we both lose. Honestly, I don't think that this isn't really worth the conversation because you guys are going to beat the Jets and we're going to lose to Dallas. We're going to get the number 2 pick. Game over.
Now, the problem here is that the Patriots are 4-12. There's 3 teams who are 5-11. I swear to God, if we win and drop to the 8th pick, I'll have a fit.
Is the game in Gillette? It's at Gillette, isn't it?
I think it's on the road.
Be interesting.
Pat Riots, Jets.
We're gonna lose.
You're right. You're right. It's at Gillette.
So we are going to lose.
Yeah, right. Of course.
So but it's because it's the Jets.
I know. We could drop. I mean, our strength of schedule is a lot lower than the teams below us. So, but we could, in theory, drop as far as 7. Shit.
Ooh, yeah. It's a lot riding on that. I don't think Washington's gonna, especially because Dallas is playing for. Because if Philly wins and Dallas loses, Philly jumps up again.
Right.
So Dallas is in control.
Sunday Night Football, absolutely. I guarantee it.
We're playing 4:30. You're playing 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking Cowboys. I don't know. Why did I think the Cowboys were playing the? I'm sorry, because they always put like the division winner like games, which I know we'll get to that too. Yeah. But yeah, that's wild. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting week.
So there could be a lot of movement there. Yeah. I just don't think that again, it could be wrong, but I don't think Washington will move unless you guys lose 2 and the Saints. Worst case, we're looking at 3.
Right.
But I don't.
Okay.
I think we're locked in it too.
Good
but
to know.
Anyway, Colts over the Raiders, 23-20. I think I picked the Colts.
I took the Raiders there. Don't know why. Yeah. I'm trying to think back as to why I picked them. Maybe I thought the Minshew magic wore out, but
It was a close. Well, no, it was closer on paper.
Not. Yeah,
they are talking about potentially Antonio Pierce getting a look for the head coach.
Yeah,
permanent.
Yeah, and the Colts I think are essentially in the win and you're in. Yeah.
Jeez.
So right now,
imagine that.
Yeah, because technically the Jaguars haven't clinched, but they're at 77% chance. I just refreshed it because I don't think it was showing me the right opponent. I don't know who the Colts opponent is coming up.
Okay, they have the 7th spot right now.
Yeah.
So they yeah.
I don't know. It's showing their opponent from last week, which I don't know why they're doing that.
Interesting.
Which is why it's confusing me. So yeah, they're essentially they're playing the Texans.
So whoever wins.
Yeah, potentially. But the Texans are. Oh, yeah, that's right, because the Jags are 9-7.
Well, the
Colts are 9-7.
The Colts are.
You're right. The Texans are 8. Texans are 8. Yeah, so that'll be a fun game.
But then again, where does Pittsburgh lie? No, I don't think so. I think if Houston beats the Colts.
So if Pittsburgh has a 29% chance of making it.
I wonder if it's because if they tie and Pittsburgh wins.
Oh God. Oh, sure.
Maybe.
Sure. Yeah. So they need, and usually there's a place where you can see all this stuff. I should have had this ready knowing we're going into the last week of the season.
There's a lot of playoff implications.
Yeah. The NFC is pretty buttoned up, it looks like. It's just the Bucks and the Packers who are still playing.
There's a that's the playoff picture. I want scenarios.
Yeah,
look at the scenarios. I believe in that one. All right, hold on. Let's see. I got the scenarios.
Ooh, here we go.
I just want to make sure it's updated.
So if the Jaguars lose and the Colts or Texans win, the winner of that game. If the Jags lose, the winner of Colts Texans wins that division.
Yes. That is correct.
Yep.
That is correct.
So
Houston can clinch the playoff berth with Houston. They have to win, plus a Jags loss, plus a Pittsburgh loss. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
We should just skip this part and just say it's close.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because it says Houston can clinch the South with a win and a Jags loss. They can clinch a playoff berth with a win, a Jags loss, and a Pittsburgh loss or tie. Why does it matter? They're ahead of them. I don't see where that makes sense. But anyway, it is close. The Colts right now are in the 7th seed, but that game virtually will come out with who's going to make it.
Yeah. And the Bills, Dolphins is for the AFC East.
I know.
Yeah. That's a good game. So that my guess.
Be a good one.
I don't know. Have they announced the primetime games? I'm guessing that'll be one of them.
Yes, they did.
Because they always do like a win and you're in situation for the last game of the season. I know they usually do that.
I think.
So, yep. Yeah, exactly. Bills and Dolphins are Sunday night. So, it's for the division. And
that's right. So, the Texans-Colts is Saturday. So, there's 2 Saturday games.
Smart. Yeah. So, okay. So, that's the win and you're in. Yeah.
Yep.
So, that's win and you're in. That's why it's Saturday primetime. And then Sunday primetime is Bills-Dolphins for the division. So, Texans-Colts, winner gets in. I'm pretty sure no matter what.
And if the Jags lose.
Yes, and then they get the home game for the division. Yeah. So that'll be cool. Steelers need a lot of help. Let's just leave it at that. They're also playing the Ravens, who have clinched the 1 seed, so maybe the Ravens play their backups.
Well, they're talking about maybe Lamar not playing.
Yeah.
So it is definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Next game, the Rams over the Giants, 26-25. That was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
I think we both had the Rams in that one.
Yep. Yeah, we did. Didn't expect to be that close, and I didn't really catch much of it. I don't know if maybe the Giants made like a push at the end, but yeah, definitely closer than I expected. That Kyron Williams from the 5th round, 3 more touchdowns for that running back. So again, draft him late. You don't need to draft in the 1st round for 7 years.
I know, and they're balanced, and the Rams are sitting at like what is
Tyrod played? I forgot about that.
Right. What is their streak at right now? 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, so I need my mouse. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't want to play them. Yeah, I forgot my dongle at home.
I'm trying to do it with the pad, but I can't move as fast because really what I want to look at is
to see how many the Rams. Rams have won 3. Buffalo's won 4 in a row. Cleveland has won 4 in a row. And Baltimore's won 6 in a row.
The Rams in their last, again, I always like to look at, my bias my bias vision here. Yeah. They're 6-1 in their last 7. With their only loss, which we said last week, was to the Ravens, 37-31. When they started pretty bad.
Oh, this is fun. So Tankathon, if you keep scrolling down, it shows like the playoff matchups, this Week 18 schedule, and then it also shows a mock draft. And it has
Drake May.
Caleb to the Chicago, which is, again, very interesting. Drake May to you. Jaden Daniels to the Patriots. I don't know if but it also depends. Is Bill Belichick the person making the decision? Would he take a Jaden Williams type?
I don't think so.
Of which I don't really know his game.
But that's the thing. Like, you think Chicago would pick Caleb?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Especially because I think the GM who's there now is the one who took Fields a couple of years ago, right? It's the same guy.
Well, here's the thing. I think with the mock drafts, they never. I could be wrong. I don't think they anticipate trades.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So it's like Chicago whoever gets that number 1 pick is going to go Caleb Williams, most likely.
It's just interesting because, if it's because like when Arizona took what's his name at 10th, and then the next year they took
Rosen.
Yeah, and then there was a different GM, so it kind of made sense. If it's the same guy, maybe he wants to stick with this guy.
Plus,
I don't know.
Chicago's been playing a lot better than how they started the season.
Yes, I agree.
They're 7-9. Yeah. I mean,
not terrible.
Plus, you're going to get, if you trade back, like we just said, they could still get 2 top 10 picks potentially, and then get back into the second round.
Maybe Tennessee or Atlanta really likes one of those guys, and they stay in the top 10, like you just said, and then get another one for next year. So and then they have freaking 3 picks in the top 10. That would be, or 2, excuse me, still be 2, but it'd be bananas. But that's what I would do.
I think when you're looking at 7-9, they've been playing a lot better. They can score. They've put up big points, a few times this year.
Get a blue chipper on defense.
I'm trying to sell them on good fields. On to the fumble in Philly. 35-31, the Cardinals, and they were up 21-6 at one point. The Eagles.
Yeah, it was. They're up 28-6 at the half.
28.
No, you're right.
21, right?
At the half. Yep, and then. They got James Conner ran all over them, 26 carries. If you want a fantasy championship, James Conner was your guy. He torched him.
And the Cardinals were 1-7 on the road coming into that game. So
I think they're 1 win. That's nuts.
So again, they are 1-4 in their last 5. And they have lost to some good teams.
And who's this? The Eagles?
The Eagles.
And that's not even counting those comebacks they had when they probably should have lost another one of those.
Right. Again, we were talking about that. They were playing a lot close games. The first game against Dallas, 28-23. That's the game that Dak stepped out of bounds. Chiefs, they won those games. You can't take it away from them. But now it's like they got blown out a couple times.
Yep.
And the Cardinals.
There it is right here.
The Cardinals have beat the Cowboys and the Eagles. So what that tells me is the Cardinals are better than both of those teams. That's what I'm going. And actually, by that math, Washington beat Arizona. So really, Washington's better than Dallas, Philly.
That's fair.
And Arizona.
It's that NFL wheel, the parity wheel.
It's like MMA math. It just doesn't make sense. Next game. Well, again, I think we talked about that a little bit. So the Eagles losing that game. Mm-hmm. And Dallas beating Detroit puts them at the same record. It gives Dallas the advantage in the division, so they control their own destiny. So Philly falls back to 5. Mm-hmm. Dallas being a team that's not good on the road, or not great on the road anyway, you just basically put them in the driver's seat to stay home. They're 8-0 at home. So Philly, I'd be concerned. If I'm a Philly fan, Kansas City fan, I'm a little concerned going into the playoffs.
Philly has looked like terrible the last 10 weeks. Terrible.
They were an inflated 11-1.
Yep. And I think Arizona, and I also think Arizona with Kyler being out for a while, their record was worse than they really were with Kyler being out as long as he was.
That's fair.
But this tells me that the Cardinals aren't going to take a quarterback, which is good.
I hope.
I
wouldn't. He's good. I love Kyler. I'm a Kyler guy. So are you.
He's too short from. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, keep him.
Yeah,
love
we're
that
good.
guy.
We're good.
I've always rated him.
Speaking of quarterbacks that we always
I know.
enjoy.
Oh, he screwed me here.
The fucking Tampa Bakers.
This is
man.
what they do.
I
This is
know.
what they do. They win. They win.
know.
They really get them believing, and then
Listen, again, this is the season that Baker has no excuses.
yeah,
He has weapons.
right.
Like
Sorry, I'm
elite
watching the highlights,
weapon.
but I'm listening.
at least with Evans, who was a free agent this year. But yeah, Tampa loses at home to the Saints 23-13. The Saints, this is an interesting one because I think Tampa still has the division, but it is going to come down to next week. So they're sitting at 4.
Yeah, they're still at a 69% chance of making it. And who are they playing?
Where the Saints are sitting on the outside looking in.
Yep.
At the 9th spot.
Yep.
And they are playing next week to finish the season. They're playing the Panthers. So realistically, the Tampa Bakers should win the division because they're playing the Panthers. So realistically, they'll win. I think they'll get in.
Yep.
I have faith in the Tampa Bakers.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm just watching these highlights because I didn't realize just how bad Philly blew it. Wow.
Bad. Really bad.
Yep.
Maybe it's that shotgun stance that Jalen stands in. Maybe he needs to stand up.
I missed it.
You still haven't seen?
No.
Can you
Sorry.
take a second
Sorry.
and go look on the YouTubes and watch. He does this like crouching tiger, this 1 foot in front of the other squat when he's in shotgun. I hate it.
It's a Reddit post from the Eagles subreddit.
Is it?
Honest question. What's up with this crouch shotgun stance?
Yo,
Yeah.
it's so bad. Maybe it's just me because he plays for Philly and I just have to like nitpick, but the stance bothers me.
Hurts and Kelsey talked about it on the Kelsey podcast. Kelsey rockets the ball at QBs because he wants to quickly free up his hands, launch into position, and get upfield. Hurts noted at it unusually fast and had to adjust his stance.
Hurts did it in college.
I'm sorry.
So he's a liar. I don't. And he plays for Philly.
He lied about being. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
Not buying it. Yeah, the Baker thing is like it would be kind of Baker's brand to blow it. But like you said, he's got the weapons. He shouldn't be blowing it. I didn't watch this game, so I don't know what happened. But they should win that division. Come on.
Against Carolina next week.
Yeah. 100%.
So speaking of the game that we're watching the highlights on right now, let's just jump into it.
Yep.
So this was an interesting week for the Washington Somethings. They decided, I believe, on Tuesday or Wednesday last week to start Jacoby Brissett.
Mm-hmm.
By Friday, Jacoby Brissett was questionable with a hamstring. So then they had to go crawling back to Sam Howell and say, "Oh,
please,
I guess you're starting." And he did not. He did not see that. That's
Sam.
Now here's the thing, right? So he threw 2 picks in this game, and that was one of them in the red zone.
Yep.
The 2 picks that he threw were bad.
Yeah, it was
like bad. So I think I think that was the first one. I think there's another one coming up. Mm-hmm. It was, but it again. He's on. I know he's still. He started 1 game last season. He's only started like 17 games total. But again, these are like bad picks.
That was a nice throw by Purdy. He's got the weapons, but like he still has to put. Look at this. He's scrambling around.
This was
directing the offense. Boom,
wide open.
Yep,
just wide open. I wanted to run through this really quickly because you and I were talking about this yesterday. Mm-hmm. So, in the year of our Lord, as Maurice would say, 2020, Washington had the second overall pick, which they could potentially get again this year. In 2020, that was the year that Joe Burrow went first.
Mm-hmm. You could have had Burrow if you didn't win that last game of the season. You said, right?
Yeah, because it was like a late game. We beat the Texans for no fucking reason. Although again, Burrow was always hurt.
Yeah, true.
I know, and he's got weapons.
Yep.
Jury's out in my head on him. We decided to take Chase Young. So that means Washington passed on Tua, Herbert.
Not sold on Tua. Herbert, I love Herbert.
Fair, but I mean, again, he's got weapons.
Yeah.
He can throw the ball. He can put up numbers. Tua, Herbert, Jefferson, Justin Jefferson, Ayuk, and CeeDee Lamb. And the first pick taken in the second round by the Bengals was T. Higgins. Washington picked Chase Young, whom now they've traded after 3 years. He got hurt. They traded him. And when they played him, his homecoming back to D.C., 1 tackle.
And he had a good rookie campaign, too, if I remember correctly.
I think his numbers were like comparable to Ryan Kerrigan in his first year, and he didn't get Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Gotcha.
So it was like, it was good, but it wasn't like great. Then he got hurt, but then we traded him. My point is, like, it doesn't seem like he's panning out to be like the beast that he might have been in college. Yep. But again, you passed hindsight's 2020. And I actually didn't want Tua because I was nervous they were going to get him. Mm-hmm. Our quarterback at the time, as you asked me, was Dwayne Haskins.
Oof.
So, yeah. So, anyway, we're on a 7-game losing streak. I think the last year of the Shanahan era, we lost 8 in a row to finish the season. He went 3-13, I think, and he got fired. Ron has the ability to do this again.
Yep.
Next week against the Cowboys, we're at home. Our home record is 1-6, and we're 0-5 against the division. Ugly.
So ugly. And you should have beat the Eagles, who should, Yep.
Fair.
Yep.
The Jaguars over the Panthers, 26-0.
Yeah.
Honestly, the biggest news from that one was the Panthers owner throwing a beer at Jags fans.
Yeah. Talk about disaster classes, like ownership. That dude, he's been the owner since like 2019, and they've just been a mess.
3 coaches?
Yeah.
Right? It's been 3 coaches.
Yeah, it was
they fired Ron. He was the one who fired Ron.
Yeah, which makes sense. It's like you come in, you want your own guy, but then he went and spent all that money on Rule, and then
Frank Reich this year.
Right. Yeah.
So
now he'll be on a third coach. Yeah, not counting interims.
From what they say from what I hear, I guess through the pundits.
Yes,
he is very hands-on.
Yes, like he sends plays, weird stuff.
That's not good.
No, not good
I feel bad for Carolina because Washington dealt with a very hands-on piece of shit owner for 23 years. I
don't think he ever did that though.
No,
hands-on, but like plays.
No, I honestly, I feel for Carolina just because of having a bad owner. You don't want a team to. Yep. The team should not be faltering because of their owner.
Yeah, and I think we said that this was a get-right game for the Jags because Trevor didn't play, and they obviously had no problem. So it was exactly what they needed after losing 6 in a row or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, they cleaned up,
and they're still if they win next week they get the division. So
yeah. Yep.
Oh man, that one hot take still going.
Yep, and that's
still going. Except Dallas, I guess. 56-19, the Ravens over the Dolphins.
Yeah, and I think this is our double money Joker pick, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Right again.
Yep.
2 for 2.
Nailed it. I forgot how much money I have now. I got to double check on that. But yeah, after watching the Ravens dismantle the 49ers, I had no hope for the Dolphins, who Tua got hurt.
Yeah. Chubb got hurt too. Chubb, was it ACL?
Was it that bad? I know.
I don't know. It looked like it was knee.
I'm not sure. I just saw on the TV that Howard got hurt too. Xavier Howard. That was a bad back.
It looked like it might have been a knee, so that's going to be problematic.
Yep. The Dolphins are not winning any championships.
No.
No way.
And again, so if you look at their run right now, I think they've beaten the Rams right now. Are they technically in the playoffs, or are they on the outside looking in still?
Who's that?
The Rams. No, they're in. They're in the 6th seed.
Yeah, they clinched.
So they beat the Rams. They beat the Jaguars, they're in the playoffs. They kicked the shit out of the 49ers at San Francisco. And then they kicked the shit out of the Dolphins. It's like those are all, their last 4 are playoff teams.
Yeah, and that defense is really good. And this is that big vaunted offense that scores 1 million, billion, trillion points. And they scored 6 in the second half.
I think that they are, they seem like maybe like the Peyton Manning led Colts. They're very fun to watch in the regular season, but I don't know if I don't know if they're good. They might not be ready to compete in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I had forgotten that the Ravens lost Mark Andrews, but Isaiah Likely's fit in quite nicely, and they haven't missed a beat. But yeah, they might not be ready for prime time just yet. Maybe give McDaniel another year. Is this his second year as coach? It must be.
At least his second, not third.
But yeah, I just don't see it when I watch them. Just don't.
No, I think they're fun when they're putting up a lot of points and they're beating up on kind of bummy teams. Yep. But the Ravens dropping 56 on you. But again, I guess the argument was at one point it was still like 49-19 when like Tua got hurt and Chubb. Like why are those guys in?
Right.
I mean, you're down by 30 points in the fucking third, fourth quarter. Like,
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Texans over the Titans 26-3. I didn't really see much of this game, to be honest.
No. And even if the Texans go 10-7 and miss the playoffs, which is no, they'll make the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs. Even if they lose and go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, it's a very successful season for them.
Yeah.
They went from the 2 overall pick to being in the playoff conversation to the last game of the season. A win and you're in, which the Patriots were part of last year and lost like losers. So that's a big step for them. They got their quarterback of the future, that's for sure.
Yep.
Which is pretty sweet.
And I like D'Amico as the coach.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see the Texans had a good year.
Yep.
Yeah, this is I was doing pretty well up until like the 4:00 games, and then I lost. I think I lost all the 4:00 games, and luckily the Packers saved me. But I lost the Seahawks, Chargers, and Bengals are the ones I picked. The Steelers 30-23 over Seattle.
Yeah, I just said I think the Steelers are gonna finish over 500 again, and they did.
The guy has not missed.
No, he's missed the playoffs, but he's never gone under 500.
17 years.
Yeah,
he has not. He has not had a losing record, which is
very impressive.
Crazy.
That is very impressive. Very impressive.
And apparently they're sticking with Mason to finish the year.
Makes sense.
They mathematically have a shot. They could still do it.
Yeah, need a lot of help, but they could definitely get in. I think it has to be a tie.
It probably has to be a tie and a Pittsburgh win.
Yeah. Pittsburgh win, tie, Jaguars win. I think that makes sense.
Let me see if they actually put it up here. Oh God, there's so many. There's 5 different things. A Pittsburgh win with a Buffalo loss, a Pittsburgh win with a Jacksonville loss or tie, Pittsburgh win with a Houston Indy tie, so we were right on that one. A Pittsburgh tie, a Jacksonville loss, and Houston and the Colts don't end in a tie, or the Jacksonville loss, a Denver win, and Houston and Indianapolis don't end in a tie.
They have more chances than it sounds like, and they're playing.
So
they're playing the Ravens, which is why people aren't giving them a shot. But if Lamar doesn't play,
because they got it locked up. They have nothing to play for. But so a Pittsburgh win and a Buffalo loss, which is could happen.
Yep.
Or a Jacksonville loss. I don't know who Jacksonville's playing yet, but still, yeah, that's wild.
The Jaguars are playing the Titans.
Okay. Possible. Probably unlikely, but possible.
Yeah. Yep. Is that true? Yeah, Jaguars Titans. Very good.
Did you have anything else?
No.
I don't want to jump ahead.
No, that was it. Yeah, that was it.
The Broncos of Denver with Mr. Stidham.
Yep.
The old
expatriate.
Expatriate. I forgot I didn't tap into this yet. Sorry.
Dirty.
I just thought of it now.
I don't even know why I picked the Broncos, but I did.
I think because close. I picked the Chargers, but
I think just because I don't know. I really don't, because Herbert's hurt and they've been terrible, the Chargers, and yeah, they're just bad.
I was going with the Easton Sticks.
Yeah. Yep. So.
I was just like admiring this can.
It is a nice looking can.
We'll get into it. Man, the Bengals. Chiefs win 25-17. Bengals, man, dude, this close. Yeah. The Chiefs are not that good.
No.
40 drop balls this season, the most out of any team. They look ugly.
It's funny that they're like celebrating these kind of wins now. To like a backup, you're beating a backup quarterback barely.
Yep.
Barely getting it done. Not looking good. Kelsey, not looking good.
Kelsey's not looking good at all.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's not just like one guy. Like I think Tony was getting a lot of heat for dropping. But they were all dropping balls.
Yeah.
At least 3 guys in that game dropped passes.
That Rice is really good though. Another big game. They're so lucky they hit on that pick, because if he was bad, after taking Sky Moore, another receiver whose name escapes me, Hardman, they'd be
Pacheco had a good game too.
Yeah,
but
again, I watched this one, and the Bengals had so many chances,
I know,
and they just couldn't capitalize on anything.
I know. I think it was like the end. They started to fall apart, but I mean, it was all field goals at the last like. I said the last hour or so.
6 field goals for Butker.
And that was the only scoring in the second half was just those field goals.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yep.
But I have no faith in them.
No, me either.
The last game, which this is the one where Minnesota was favored by 1 point, and we couldn't figure out why.
Yeah.
And then it showed like what do they know? I'm like, realistically, they were starting. Who did they? We said who they started. It wasn't Mullins. They benched Mullins. They went with their fourth quarterback.
I thought it was Mullins.
No, they benched him and they played somebody else.
Oh, Jaron Hall.
So even if it was Mullins, why would you? Why were they favored?
I don't know.
By a point.
Yeah. Why did I pick them?
Because we split because we're like, what do they know?
Yeah.
It just didn't make any sense. No. Jordan Love had a good game. Again, Green Bay 8-8.
I didn't make it my money pick, so that tells you all you need to know. That was weird.
Green Bay is in right now.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah. He's doing with what Rodgers couldn't do last year.
That's right. Yeah, I think they got their guy of the future for sure in Love. I shout out Love. But Vikings are toast. It's unfortunate.
I thought that they drafted Love long before what was it, 2020? 2020?
Yeah, I think it's his fourth year, right?
I thought it was, for some reason in my head, it was longer than it was.
No, because they just gave him that extension because they didn't want to pick up the options. They gave him like a little mini extension or bridge extension, which is kind of like hey, we'll give you some money and also show us what you got.
Yeah. So, well, I think it panned out.
It did.
That's like the Green Bay model. Granted, 2 Super Bowls in that time frame, but again, you go from Favre to Rodgers to Love.
And it's wild how the Vikings have kind of stayed in it. They still have a 3% chance of making it with everything that's gone on, which is pretty wild.
Those scenarios got to be wild for them.
I finished 12-4 for the week.
10-6.
Yeah. So not too shabby.
Yeah, Minnesota's good. Yeah, oh my God, they need to win. Green Bay lost, Seattle lost, Tampa Bay lost, or they need to win. Green Bay lost, Seattle lost, and a New Orleans loss. That is crazy things happen though.
Yeah, crazier things have happened. That's for sure.
But that was the NFL week. That was week 17.
Week 17. Back in the day. Back when we were kids, that was the last week of the season.
Back in our day, that was the last game of the season. So those are your picks. Hold on. Wait a second.
I just gotta chill.
Time to that beer.
Yeah, so we got beer of the week. We're doing a little special one, actually probably for the whole month, because we are both partaking in Dry January. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
So we got a non-alcoholic IPA. All these non-alcoholics are the new hotness. New hotness.
It's not. It's pretty good. I actually like this one.
Sam Adams, just the haze, hazy, juicy, and refreshing. I've done a lot of reading on these non-alcoholic beers. Like, you think like, oh, can you get drunk? Can you do this? It's like, no, you'd have to drink like 1,000 in 5 minutes, because by the time you get to like the 8th one, the less than, so I know Athletic is like 0.2, 0.3% of alcohol. Yeah. And they say some food has that much. So by the time you get to like the 8th beer, if you drink that many, it's already out of your system. Like, it's already gone. It's already out of your system. So it's like very much impossible. You'd probably get sick from like drinking too much water before you get sick from the alcohol.
It's like mouthwash.
Yeah.
Or like fermented fruit.
Right. So it's good. I don't see. Do they have a calorie count? How many calories is this?
98.
Okay, not terrible. Athletics like 65 for the IPA, 25 for the light. But this is actually good. I do like this.
It is good. It's like, it's 0.5%, which is less than 0.5%.
Yes, yeah. I think that's like what they have to show.
So
they can't say 0.2. They can say it on like their website, but under the label has 0.5. I'm enjoying it, and we'll probably continue the non-alcoholics as we progress. Maybe I'll bring like a non-alcoholic wine, nice juice which they also make.
But they make ciders now. Yeah. I think the only one that I'm not a fan of it anyway, but you are, is the Guinness. I think I've heard.
No, I have not tried the Guinness. My brother said it was awful.
Yeah, I've heard. I can't imagine that one would be. That's probably the hardest.
I'm afraid to try it. I want to try it, but I'm afraid to try it. But yes, I agree. That one is difficult.
But I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, back in the day, it used to be O'Doul's, and there was one other one that I could not remember the name of. But
I looked for it on the shelving, but yeah, I couldn't find it. But there's a ton of them out there now. It's wild.
Budweiser, Heineken, Corona, they all do it.
Yep.
So there's a market for us. This whole month is going to be, at least for this month anyway, non-alcoholic beer of the weeks.
Beer of the weeks. Cheers.
Do you have?
I do.
We'll give her a chance for another hot take. She had a live one that was really good.
That was live, and it's funny because we were just watching, and she's like, "I have a hot take." God. Now this one. Now this is interesting. This is the first time we're here. This is the first hot take to negate a previous hot take.
Oh, the saboteur.
So week 11, she said the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. She has since declined that hot take, which would be a hot take now, in my opinion. But she now says that the Super Bowl is going to be the 49ers versus...
This is a
Super Bowl prediction hot take.
Okay.
It's going to be the 49ers versus the Browns. That's not...
Because I was thinking Ravens, and I was like, dude, that is mild sauce. I like it. I think with the Flacco incentive is if he wins the Super Bowl, it's $2 million.
Yep. Yeah.
Honestly, I would love to see it. I would love to see it just because it's the Browns. It's Flacco. I mean, at this point, now welcome to my world, even though you didn't make the playoffs last year. But this is what happens when you're a Redskins fan. I think we did the math out. Every 10 years, Washington wins 10 games, and they lose in the wild card. That's every 10 years. So 9 of those years, and even the 10th year, once you get eliminated, you just pick a team that you just kind of want to see move ahead.
Yep.
I would love to imagine Detroit, Cleveland.
That would be the world would end.
That might be my favorite Super Bowl ever. Yeah. Besides, if Washington ever goes back,
the world would end the day before. Oh man.
Well, again with the meme, Detroit had to sacrifice the Pistons.
Yep.
Well, the night that the night that Detroit lost to Dallas, the Pistons won. Yeah. They won. They snapped the streak against Toronto. So
I missed a hot take in my list here. What was it last week? Shoot.
Yep.
Don't remember.
I don't know.
Man, where'd it go? I didn't write it down. So I have this. So I have week 14, the Patriots will lose out. Week 15, Chiefs 1 and done in the playoffs. And then I'm missing week 16. I think.
I have to go back and listen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'll figure it out.
I'm going to just do one quick one here. We're going to shout out Mr. Cheese and the Baloney Ponies.
The Baloney Ponies win?
The Baloney Ponies are the XFL, the Christmas Football League 2023 fantasy football champions.
Wow.
It wasn't even a close game.
I feel like he sets it up in a certain way. He's like the only one who understands how it works. So he knows exactly who to draft.
There is something to be said when commissioners win, I would guess. But then again, it's like he was playing somebody else. They had a shot.
Yeah.
I finished last in my other league, by the way.
Oh, no.
I had the toilet paper.
Lost the toilet bowl. That's too bad.
Yeah.
Our champion just won their third. We've been on for 10 years. This person just won for the third time. Good on them. The person they beat had won once before. It was, So there's no new winner this year. There was a new winner last year. So in that league, we've had one 3-time winner, and then I think one. Like it's all been one-time winners, which is kind of wild. I lost the third place game, but I kind of checked out. I could have won my money back, but whatever.
Fair.
I got fourth place, and I don't even know what happened in our loser bowl in Cheese's league. And shout out Cheese. Baloney Ponies.
You won because I took.
We'll leave Jeans too. Yeah. Okay.
I took 6.
Yep.
In the league that I finished last, if this is any consolation to myself, once I knew I didn't make the playoffs, I didn't look at it.
Checked out.
I just didn't care. But yeah, shout out to Baloney Ponies. A big win. Yeah. So it looks like the cup. I don't know who actually won last year. Who won last year?
Yeah, I know Jess was in the championship. She lost.
That's right.
Yeah.
There was some conspiracy theories in that one.
That she lost?
No, she did lose.
She did lose.
But wasn't there like a thing with the running back or something? Wasn't there an issue there?
I don't remember. Maybe she didn't set someone because she was like,
oh yeah. Somebody
she's made a commissioner move or something like that. Yeah.
But it wasn't even close. It didn't have any impact. But who the hell won last year?
Mike?
Who did she play?
I have no idea.
Oh my God!
Text cheese.
I know it didn't have an impact because it was like a blowout.
Yeah.
This championship was a blowout too.
It's that kicker, man. Give me some standard scoring with a little PPR action.
No, I like talk. The only thing that I don't love is the running backs.
That one's.
It was like somebody you had. I was playing you.
Bryce
it was like
Bryce Hall.
They had 43 yards and a touchdown. He had 30 points. I'm like, what the fuck? He didn't even do anything. But it is fun, though. I like that the scores are, like, ridiculous. Because when I say, if you talk to other people about it, like, oh, I lost 228 to 225. Like, wait, what? It does make it fun.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's our very last fantasy. I know
fantasy corner.
It was last week, but we had to shout out
it was championship week. Sure. So I'm all for it.
This is like week 18 and I still can't get it right.
All right, going into the last week of the regular season, week 18. We got a full schedule here. Now I'm looking at this and I can already tell you right now that Lamar Jackson is not playing in this game. So
what makes you say that?
So we got the. It's funny now. We've been looking at these all year long. I'm like, this makes sense now. I get it. So we got the 4:30 game, which is on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus. We got the Steelers traveling to the Ravens.
Is this Malik?
Unless it's Huntley again. Huntley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the Steelers on the road are 3.5-point favorites. So Lamar's not playing in this game, or he's playing a half. Huntley's not terrible.
I know. Is it weird that but all right. So how many other guys are gonna sit?
All of them, probably. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Because I feel like the Steelers are playing for something. And
yeah.
Here's the thing too, because they're not gonna know because their game hinges on the Colts game, right? Because they're ahead.
No, and the Bills game.
The Bills or the Colts. So realistically, but say that Texans Colts game has an impact because that's one of the scenarios.
Yep.
They're playing Saturday at 4:30, so they have to wait to see. So they're going to be like they need that bare minimum win.
The NFL does this on purpose. Yeah. So like the less teams, obviously, the better that know what they're So like it is possible that the Bills will know, but they still want the home game.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. The Texans Colts are right after them. There's 2 games. So yeah, they did this on purpose. Steelers are the first game. And then the Texans Colts are the second game.
I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Ravens are going to bench literally everyone. So I agree with you. Oh gosh, hold on.
Watch it be a blowout the other way.
Like Huntley isn't terrible. He almost won them a playoff game last year if he just didn't fumble it on the 1-yard line.
It's not only that. I just not to say that a backup quarterback won't go in there and try. I just like. Any quarterback going into that scenario, there's nothing to gain other than maybe just like reps.
The defense, now this is tricky, and I don't know how you feel about it, but you have the bye in the playoffs. Now you're going to take a week off now. You're not going to play for 2 weeks.
And that's
a long time.
Maybe they do
play a half.
Maybe they do just to get some reps because that is the problem. We've seen teams where they're down for too long.
Yep. Get a little rusty.
Be interesting. I wonder if they could maybe they could scrimmage another team. Can you scrimmage a team that's out of the playoffs?
Yeah, like what, the joint practices or something?
Yeah, can you joint practice just to get some better reps in?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. But they're good enough. I think that they'll be okay.
Yeah. Righty. Then we got the Texans and the Colts. Traveling to the Colts, excuse me. Texans. And this is also on all 3 platforms.
What are you doing Saturday?
Yeah, right.
Back-to-back Saturdays.
Probably nothing. Texans, back-to-back Monday Night Football cruise, I guess. And the Texans are 1.5-point favorites. I've been rooting for the Texans all year long. Not that I have been rooting for Minshew, but he's been up and down. I'm going to go with the Texans because I want them to make the playoffs. I'd go in Texans.
What you just said.
Yeah. Verbatim.
Exactly that.
Oh, God. And those games are both on Saturday, so we got the 2 Saturday games, and you can watch them pretty much anywhere. Get a satellite. Not satellite. What the hell is it called?
Yep.
What are they called?
Cable box.
No.
Antennas. Rabbit ears.
Antenna. Yeah.
Antenna.
Now everyone thinks antennas. Now this is a shout out for people who are cable or cord cutters. You can get an antenna from like Best Buy. They don't look, people think rabbit ears, but they're not like that anymore. They're little small things that you just put in your window and boom, you can get CBS, ESPN, I'm not ESPN, ABC, Fox. You can get all the local games. So shout out antennas. Going back.
Shout out antennas.
Kicking it old school. All right. And then moving to Sunday, first game, we got the Browns traveling to the Bengals. This is another one. Bengals are 6-point favorites. Browns benching everyone.
Because they can't win the division and they locked up a playoff spot.
Yeah.
But if the Browns, but you know what though?
They can't, I don't think they can move anywhere.
They can't.
No,
they can't. They're locked in. But here's the thing, like who do you start?
Joey B. I would bench Burrow if his calf has been acting up. What I didn't last
Flacco?
week. What did I say? Burrow.
Joe.
It's
the battle of the
Joe.
Could have been the battle of the Joes.
Yeah. But I guess Flacco. But yeah, that means the Browns are benching their dudes. So these are tough calls. But Bengals are also eliminated. So this is a game of nothing. This is literally a game of nothing.
That's probably why you go with the home team.
Yeah, it's a coin flip. So I'm going to say Bengals.
You don't think the Bengals are going to play Browning at least?
I think they would. What else they got?
I know.
Yeah.
I would think that maybe Flacco's the backup just in case. But for him, an extra week rest would probably be beneficial.
Yeah.
I will also take the Bengals. I think we're all 3 for 3 here.
Yeah, I'm curious. As we go through this list, we're going to see which game. Some of these games mean nothing. That's the struggle with the last. We do that extra game. And it always happens every year, where they have 16 games, 14 games, 18 games, whatever.
Yep.
Then 1 o'clock on Fox, we have the Minnesota Vikings, who are eliminated. They have like a 3% chance traveling to the Detroit Lions, who are locked into their spot.
They are
3-point favorites. I feel like Campbell is not the type to bench his guys, so I can see them playing late into the night.
I just don't think the Vikings have anything. I just don't think they have anything.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking the Vikings. I will be, just to be a little bit different. Just on the off chance that the Lions bench.
They're locked into the 3 spot.
Yeah. All right. And then we have the Jaguars traveling to the Titans. I think Trevor Lawrence will be back for this. Jaguars are 5.5-point favorites. So the Titans have really nosedived.
I'm going with the Jags because they are playing for that division, and I think that they know that. I think they skidded a little bit.
I think the Jags are going to blow it. I'm going Titans.
Ooh. Dude, you turn your back on one of your favorite teams this year.
I did. They blew it. I don't know what to say. They betrayed me. I've lost like $10 on them.
Damn.
Oh, that's a play we didn't talk about. CeeDee Lamb, that 92-yard touchdown.
That was almost a safety. Yeah. That was a 92-yard touchdown.
It's wild. I think they're going to blow it.
Fair. Okay.
Then on Fox, 1 o'clock, we have the Jets traveling to the Patriots. Now I always say, like, don't tank. It's the last game. Just lose. Just lose.
You're not going to lose this one.
Just lose.
Bill's not going to lose this one.
Just lose. Yeah, Bill doesn't want to lose, but I just lose at this point. Just lose. Get that 3. Get that 3 spot.
So this is one. So this game's on at 1 o'clock. Washington's on at 4:30. So I have to watch this game first. So it sounded like an actual like sound effect. My bet is coming down to this game.
Oh,
my bet is that Washington would have the better record than New England. We're the same record. We are not going to beat Dallas.
Do you have the I ask you this every week, and I'm asking you again. Do you have the tiebreaker with the victory, or
I do, but I did say I say that as like a pride thing. Well, we beat you guys, so technically, but it's who has the better record. Right. There is no sub tiers. There wasn't like who has the better record. It's not like strength of schedule.
Who has a higher draft pick?
It doesn't matter. So I will lose that. Most likely, was my prediction. I will lose that bet, but in doing so, we will lock in the number 2 pick.
So you win either way.
Sort of.
So what's the push if you guys finish with the same record?
It is nothing. There is
both where you both lose.
We both lose, and then if the Saints beat the Falcons, then we get the number 2 pick.
No. I'm saying you both lose the bet.
It's a push.
Yeah. Boring. Okay.
Oh, I mean, we have the same record. It's like, you know what I mean? I could technically win because we beat you guys.
That's true. That's still true. How sad is that? Oh, gosh. I'm going to go with the Patriots because I think Bill does not want to lose to the Jets. These players have too much pride. They've beaten the Jets like 100 times in a row.
I just don't think the Jets could, as bad as you guys are, I don't think the Jets could win this game.
Yeah, and the Jets are on the road. Zach Wilson sucks against the Patriots, although I don't even know if it's Trevor Siemian. I don't even know. I've lost track.
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it does either. The Patriots are 1-7 at home. That's really bad. Holy
Who did you beat at home?
Shit. The Bills. That was our Super Bowl this year. It was the Bills game.
Well, you're about to be 2-7, I hope. So
I'll pick the Patriots the last game of the season, but I would not be upset if they lost. It's like at this point, just clear your locker out, go home. It's losers.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have the Falcons. This is a big game.
This is a big game.
I forgot which one I need already, but Falcons and the Saints.
You need the Falcons to beat the Saints.
Oh, God.
And I need the Saints to beat the Falcons because you guys lost to the Saints. We beat the Falcons. I need the Falcons to be the worser of the two.
Falcons are not going to win this game.
That
sucks. The Saints are 3-point favorites.
You know what? I'm going with the Saints, but I don't know. I'm going to go with look at the road record, though.
Boop.
Atlanta.
It is yeah, I'm going with the Saints. They're at home. And also, I want the Falcons to be free of Arthur Smith. And I feel like another loss might help that. But I feel like he's safe, which is unfortunate.
You think so?
Yeah, I think
that's a mistake.
Read somewhere that he's safe.
He has made some interesting fucking play calling.
I agree.
I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yep. Going back to the Buccaneers, we got the Buccaneers traveling to the Panthers. I really hope the Buccaneers win. They should win. Mayfield got same with what's his name? Russell Wilson. He's got the raw numbers. They're good there, but if you look at like the advanced, I don't know about Baker, but I know for like Russell Wilson, if you look at the advanced stats, even though he looks good on paper, he's got some metrics against him.
His overall rating isn't terrible. His QBR is not great, but Tampa Bakers. I mean, the Panthers are lifeless at this point, which I do feel bad about again with the owner situation. But I'm going to go with the Tampa Bakers to win the division.
Yep. And next we got the Bears traveling to the Packers. We got Packers as 3-point favorites. And the Packers win this, and they are in, I think.
They're in right now, yes.
I think there's that last wild card spot. If they win, they're in. They're in the playoffs. They have not clinched. You were thinking about it, weren't you?
I was thinking about it.
I saw that.
I was thinking about it
too. Because I'm trying to pick a game that's like that has meaning. Now this doesn't have meaning for the Bears, but it does for the Packers.
And honestly, the Bears, it's the pride of beating Green Bay at Green Bay is good enough for them right now.
And knocking them out of the playoffs potentially.
A piece of me wanted to go Joker on the Packers. But I feel like that's such a tough call. I think I have another Joker pick.
All right.
In the wings. I think the Packers, because they're hanging on. They need to win, and they need to see it. Well, if they lose, they need Seattle to also lose, but also the Saints to lose. I mean, if they lose, things probably fall apart.
They could,
for them.
they could back into the playoffs, but a lot of things would have to happen.
I'll go with the Packers. Have the Bears number anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers. I don't love it, but I'll go with them. I don't know. Don't love it. Then 425, another nothing game with the Broncos traveling to the Raiders. Raiders are 2.5-point favorites. I don't know. Raiders at home, I guess. They're playing for their guy. Studham playing again for the Broncos, I imagine.
I did take the Broncos to be different. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
Eagles traveling to the Giants. Didn't they just smoke the Giants like 2 weeks ago?
That they did. And look at that spread, though, already.
Yeah.
Jeez, 5, I'm sorry.
I feel like the wheels are coming off for the Eagles, but I don't think Tyrod's going to beat them. That was my foot, sorry.
Because I can never tell if it's outside or
not. No, it's me dragging my foot. I don't think Tyrod's going to beat them, so I'll go with the Eagles here.
I'm going to go with the Eagles as well because this is the interesting thing about this game. They're playing at 4:30, and so is Dallas. So if Dallas loses and Philly wins, Philly jumps back into that, and they win the division.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I think they're going to.
There's another big one.
That's a big game. They're playing at the same time.
Yeah, it's smart NFL, smart. And then we got the Seahawks traveling to the Cardinals. Seahawks do not control their own destiny. They could win, finish 9-8, and still miss the playoffs, but they better win, and I think they will.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Fuck it.
That's not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. I keep looking at these games like I don't know if I want that to be my pick. I don't know if
Cardinals. Seattle's favored by 2.5.
We got another loser bowl. Well, not loser bowl. Excuse me. Bench bowl. Backup bowl. Mm-hmm. Chiefs traveling to the Chargers. Chargers 3-point favorites. Which again,
that's saying something about the depth of the Chiefs. I'd be concerned. Honestly, I'd be concerned.
The Chargers, usually you get that fired coach bump, but the Chargers haven't even gotten that. They've just been continued to be really bad.
Yeah.
Who's the Chiefs' backup quarterback? It's not Henny. He retired. Is it Mallett? No, it's not Mallett.
God, that's a great question. I'm trying to look it up.
Chiefs backup QB is Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I'll go Chiefs.
My boy Easton Stick.
I'll go Chiefs just because the Chargers show nothing. Blaine Gabbert needs his.
They put up 6 points against Denver.
Needs his moment in the sun. 49ers. Okay, and then we have the Rams traveling to the 49ers. This is interesting because the 49ers have clinched the 1 seed, right?
Yes, sir.
But they're still favored by 3.5, which means they're playing their starters.
I don't think
CMC got hurt last week, which we did not mention.
Well, because they won the division. Yeah, that's true. I don't know how bad.
Yep.
But obviously he's going to sit out. He'll get a week's rest. He'll get 2 weeks rest, really.
Yeah.
The Rams they're locked in the 6th. I don't think that they can.
Did the 49ers clinch the 1 seed?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah. So,
but the only difference here is, and I don't know if this is true, they're not locked into their seed because I think if the Rams lose and Green Bay wins, potentially, do they flip flop and they go to 7 because they both be 9-8? It doesn't. They don't have the Z next to their. Or I'm saying, sorry, the Z is for the division. Mm-hmm. You don't know if they can. I don't know if they can move down or not. Not sure.
The Rams?
The Rams move to the 7. It doesn't say it.
I don't think so. So if they lose,
and the
Packers
wild
win,
card. I don't think
so.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no.
Okay,
but I could be wrong.
Not sure. I mean, they clinched a wild card spot. They're in.
I'm gonna go Rams because I'm assuming the 49ers are gonna play their backups. So I'm gonna go Rams. And I might.
But that's the thing. I feel like they're all gonna be.
The Rams are playing. Oh, you're right. It could be a nothing bowl. You're right. No, okay, yeah, I got you.
Because the Rams are going to get 6 or 7. I don't know if it matters. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know if
maybe that's why the 49ers are still favored by that because the Rams also will not play anyone.
Because I don't think, unless they really care about locking in the 6.
Right.
I'm going to go 9.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, stupid last week of the season. Yeah, I think you're right, 49ers. I was about to, yeah. Damn it. Okay. Then we got the Cowboys traveling to your 1-6 at home. Not pretty bad like the Patriots. Washington Commanders. Dallas at 13-point favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is playing for something.
Yes.
Commanders are not.
Nope.
Cowboys. But I would love to see those bigger. I'd love to see the Commanders win this game. And
if the Cowboys win, they win the division.
Yeah.
I don't think Washington has a chance, especially because Dallas is playing for something. Yeah. There's no chance. Yeah, they have zero fucking chance. They have a 0.0 chance to win. I'm picking the Redskins because I refuse to pick the fucking Dallas Cowgirls.
That's fair.
Suck my white ass ball.
Oh my.
That was a lot. Sorry.
That was a lot, but I appreciated it. I like. All right. So we got the Sunday night football game for the AFC East crown. The Dolphins have clinched a spot in the playoffs, but they haven't clinched a division.
No, sir.
The Bills could fall out of the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
But they could also win the division.
Yes, sir. Again?
Yeah.
Again?
It's got to be. Because I ran on it. So I was like, I want it to be a game that matters.
Yep. Yeah.
And this is tricky. Okay. Yeah, I want it to be a game that matters. And there's only 3 games that matter scrolling up through this. Maybe 4 or 5. So we got the 2 on Saturday.
So those 2 matter.
But not for the Ravens, for the Steelers. We have the Jaguars.
Jaguars game that matters.
Yep. We have the Saints and Falcons and Buccaneers. Okay, so there's a couple.
That matters. Green Bay matters.
Yep.
Eagles, technically, yeah. But I just Dolphins getting their ass kicked. Chubb, I believe, is going to be out. Tua got hurt, and the Bills looked kind of lifeless, and they're 5-1 in their last 6, almost beating the Eagles.
Yep,
they could have been 6-0, but they did beat the Chiefs, the Cowboys, Chargers, Patriots. I am going to pick the Buffalo Bills, which means for the second week in a row, my Joker pick is Miami Dolphins.
I am going to agree with you, and I'm going to pick the Bills to cover, again, the 3-point spread against the Miami Dolphins, especially if Tua's hurt, Xavier, whatever the other guy's name is. Every time I've picked either for or against the Dolphins, I have won. I have not lost a game in which they have partaken in. This is also my second week in a row picking against the Dolphins. And also as an AFC East fan, whatever, this is as good a game as any. I should have. Damn it! I didn't write down all my picks, my money picks either. I should have wrote those down. I can do that next season to make.
You can go back and listen to.
Oh gosh, that's a lot.
To 30 hours worth of our podcast.
Yeah, I can do that. Actually, you know what? I could probably find them in the app. I bet they're in there. They're probably in the betting app.
Well, see, I started late, but I started because of that same reason. So I put it in the parentheses of who my Joker pick was.
Yeah, I did. I always write it out and then I delete it to make room, so I'm not taking up. Yeah. Anyway, as I always say, I put $50 in the beginning of the season. I'm now at $65.08.
Okay.
So you're positive. I made positive, no matter the outcome of this game, but it'll be 70.
So basically, if you guys are following, right?
Yep.
With the Mo's money pick.
Made money.
You would have made money.
There you go.
You would have made $15.
What can I say?
Percentage-wise is pretty good.
That is pretty good.
So
yeah, and if this last game checks out, you can make $20. Buy yourself something nice. Where is this game? Why aren't you here? There you are. 3-point favorite. Yeah, 3 points. Bills. Okay. $5, and I get $4.55 back. Ooh, 69. I like it. All right. And let me see if I could go back real quick. I'm going to see if I could. Oh, my settled bets. Oh, dip. Yeah, it does show them all. Oh, shit. Yeah, I can get them in here. All right. I will try to remember to do this.
I know. I wish I did it earlier on. I think I lost 2 Joker picks this year.
Yep. Yep. And I got a push on one of these too, I remember. Yeah, look at that. that was a good pick. All right.
Well, this is our last full. That's okay. This is our last full week of full NFL regular season. So once we get to the wild card, there's going to be a couple Saturday games. There's 3 Sunday games. There's 1 Monday night wild card game. So this is us wrapping up the regular season, and then we're heading into the playoffs.
That's right. And there'll be it won't be that many games, so we'll be able to get through the picks. Well, yeah. The week that will be the same, and then the picks will be a little bit shorter. But
exactly,
yeah. And then we'll get into the playoffs, and then
and then from there we don't know. But the big announcement was the XFL USFL merger, which is now the UFL,
United Football League.
So
whatever,
we'll see. We'll touch on it. We got
we got time. Got nothing but time.
We got some time before the draft heats up.
That's right. Here's my question: is there a bye? Is there a week off between the conference championship and the Super Bowl?
Let's see.
Conference championships.
There is, because the Pro Bowl is in between.
Okay, so we can watch the Pro Bowl.
So we can watch the Pro Bowl. I'm sure it'll be really good.
The flag game.
Really entertaining. Yeah. So anyway, so we've made it 18 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Nice work.
Nice work to you. You travel to come here, so.
That's true, but you do all the hard work. But I mean, technically, we don't get to the season until next week, so we gotta get through that first.
Fair enough. We'll get through that, but this is we're wrapping up our picks for the regular season. So
this might be my last hat. I've tried to wear a hat every single. I think I've worn a different hat every week.
It's time to let it go.
I have some other ones, but they're dirty.
You did wear a Redskins hat too.
I did.
So
that's right.
That was cool.
That's true. What hat did I wear that week? No. Did I come without a hat that week? I'll have to go back and watch it.
I don't know, but I had that.
Yeah, one prepared. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Fair enough.
I like that hat, and I want that Patriots starter hat.
Not happening.
If it's for sale.
It's not happening.
And then I think starting next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming of recording on Mondays, posting on Tuesdays.
Yes, the holidays are a great time, but they are very busy. So we're recording this on Tuesday. I don't think we've recorded on a Monday in like a month. So
I think you're right. I think you are right.
But we're going to plan to do Mondays every Monday. Everything comes out on Tuesday on the all the audio, wherever you get your audios.
Right.
Or if you want to see our faces.
Yep.
Or our side profiles.
Yes.
So comment, share. Sharing is caring. 5 people you know, 5 people you don't know.
Right.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yep.
So then you get notified when these actually come up, just in case we're not recording on Monday like we haven't in the last month.
Yep.
And
I want to see comments.
I
want to see thoughts.
I want to see hot takes.
I want to see prayers. I know.
Throw a hot take in.
Props, Jessica, for stepping up to the plate and putting her balls on the table.
She's putting her reputation
on the line.
On the line.
Yeah. Spitting out some hot takes. They can't. Again, we've said it before. They can't all be winners. Just like the Bear of the Weeks can't all be winners. No. They've all been pretty good. I haven't had. I think the last week's the Porter was the one I didn't.
That was a miss.
But let's get some hot takes. Don't hide behind. Come on.
The views. People are watching. You're watching and you're not commenting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You like it.
Right.
You comment.
Yep.
You subscribe.
Yep.
You share it.
Yep.
And then you see us back here next week.
Next
Tuesday.
Yep.
Next Tuesday at 1. Right after Black Monday. Well, we're gonna record on Black Monday.
Ooh.
It
should be out by then. The news, I would think. I would hope.
By the time most of them, there's going to definitely be some fire.
And there's no Monday Night Football game, so we'll have the entire week covered, which will be good.
Very true. Which also, the wild card round has a Monday night game. And I don't know who's...
That's right, because it's Super Monday. It's Super Wild Card Week now. And one of them is on Peacock.
It's on ESPN Plus.
Oh, nice.
So we can watch the wild card game.
Oh, dip.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hell yeah. All right. Nice. So anyway, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Excuse me.